Hello, Acadia. Hello, Lucy. If you're listening to, I have a kind of a big girl book for you today. It is Mercy Watson, and you've read Mercy Watson before, at least Acadia, I know you have. This is called Mercy Watson Fights Crime. There she is. That's Mercy Watson. Crime. Fights crime. Okay. Look at that hot buttered toast. Whew. There we are. There's old Mercy Watson. She's in bed. Chapter 1. This is a chapter book. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Each night they sing the pig to sleep. When they go to bed, then they go to bed. Good night, my dear, says Mr. Watson. Good night, my darling, says Mrs. Watson. Oink, says Mercy. That's what Mercy says. Oink. Most nights, Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy all sleep soundly in their beds. But there was one night when they did not. Chapter 2. Ooh, look at that. He's got a mask over his eyes. That might be a robber. Chapter 2. Leroy Ninker was a small man. That's Leroy there. He was a small man with a big dream. Leroy Ninker wanted to be a cowboy. That's why he's wearing the boots and the jeans and the cowboy hat. But in the meantime, he was a thief. He was a thief in the kitchen at 54 Decawoo Drive. Leroy Ninker was robbing the Watsons. Ooh, look, he's got a bag there. He's going to come in and try to steal something. Ooh, that's crime. Yippee-i-oh, sang Leroy. Everything must go. He grabbed hold of the toaster. He pulled it across the counter toward him. Screech went the toaster. Shh, said Leroy. He tossed the toaster into his bag. He's stealing the toaster. Clang went the toaster. Shh, said Leroy again. He's trying to be quiet. Doesn't want to wake everybody up since he's robbing them. Chapter 3. Screech! Mercy woke up. Screech was the sound of the toaster made when it was being pulled across the kitchen counter. Mercy Watson loved toast. She particularly loved toast with a great deal of butter on it. So Mercy Watson hears the toaster being pulled across the kitchen counter, and immediately she thinks, hot buttered toast, hot buttered toast. Mercy got up out of bed. She pricked her ears. She listened. Mercy heard Mr. Watson snoring. She heard Mrs. Watson snoring, who was downstairs making toast. Mercy went to the top of the stairs. She looked down into the darkness. Clang went the toaster. Clang was the sound the toaster made when Mrs. Watson turned it upside down to clean out all the crumbs. Somebody was making toast. Mercy went down the dark, dark stairs. She headed for the kitchen. There she goes. Chapter 4. Leroy Ninker grabbed the blender. He grabbed the clock. He grabbed the cookie jar. Blender, clock, cookie jar. Yippee-i-oh, he sang as he worked. In you go. He grabbed the juicer. He grabbed the teapot. He grabbed the waffle iron. Look, he's putting it all in his bag. He's robbing them. That's what robbers do. He doesn't look like he's a particularly scary robber, though. He looks like he's kind of a friendly robber. And then Leroy Ninker heard a noise. He turned around. Yippee-i, sang Leroy. Uh-oh. And he sees Mercy Watson looking at him. Uh-oh. Chapter 5. Mercy looked around. She did not see the toaster. She did not see the bread. She did not see the butter. Instead, Mercy saw a little man wearing a big hat. He was not making toast. Mercy was very disappointed. She was also very tired. She yawned. Oh, a little pig yawn there. Oh. Good pig, said the man. He nodded. Mercy lay down. She yawned again. Nice pig, said the little man. Mercy closed her eyes. Yippee-yi-yo, the man sang softly, off to sleep you go. Okay, he's singing Mercy to sleep because he wants her to go to sleep so that he can finish robbing the house. Chapter 6. That there, whispered Leroy, is a big pig. He reached into his shirt pocket and he pulled out a butter barrel candy. Okay, that's a butter barrel candy. That's the kind of candy that you put in your mouth. He unwrapped the candy and put it in his mouth. Leroy thought. It might be a good idea for this cowboy to hit the trail. Okay, he's thinking, I better get out of here. He picked up his bag. He stopped. "Aw, shucks," said Leroy. The pig was blocking the way. "There's no room to go around the pig," said Leroy. "There's no room to go under the pig. Guess I gotta go over the pig." Leroy stepped forward. He flung one leg over the sleeping pig. You can see that. But the pig moved. Leroy Ninker froze. Uh-oh, the pig moved. He's trying to step over Mercy, but she moved. Now what's he going to do? Whew. This is very dramatic. Chapter 7. Mercy woke up. "Oink," she said. "Easy now," said a voice. Mercy looked out of the corner of her eye. The little man was on her back. Mercy stood up. "Steady, girl," said the little man. So she suddenly stands up while Leroy is trying to step over her, and now he's riding her. Mercy shook herself. The little man slid forward. "Whoa there," he said. Mercy smelled something. What was it? Butter. Remember the little man Leroy put a butter candy in his mouth? Mercy can smell butter anywhere. Butter, butter. Mercy looked around the kitchen. No bread, no toaster, but she definitely smelled butter. Maybe someone next door was making sugar cookies. "Oink," said Mercy. She galloped out the open door. She galloped toward the Lincoln sisters' house. "Yippee-yi-yo," shouted Leroy Ninker. "Away we go." So she's going to go next door to see whether the butter that she smelled is coming from the house next door, the Lincoln sisters' house. Chapter 8. Upstairs at 54 Decawoo Drive, Mrs. Watson woke up. "Mr. Watson?" she said. "Mmph," said Mr. Watson. "Did you hear a noise?" said Mrs. Watson. "What sort of noise, dear?" "A yippee-yi-yo sort of noise?" said Mrs. Watson. "No, I did not hear a yippee-yi-yo sort of noise," said Mr. Watson. "You were dreaming, my dear." "I was?" said Mrs. Watson. "You were," said Mr. Watson. "Go back to sleep." Mr. Watson does not want to get up. I think we saw that in the last book, too. He does not like to have to get up out of bed when he's sleeping. Mrs. Watson, so Mr. Watson, he's going to stay in bed. Mrs. Watson got out of bed. "I think I will go and check on Mercy," she said, "and then I will go back to sleep." "Excellent," mumbled Mr. Watson. "A top-notch plan, my dear." Mr. Watson started to snore. He's already back asleep. Meanwhile, Chapter 9. Inside the Lincoln sisters' house, Baby Lincoln woke up. That's Baby Lincoln. You remember her from the other book? There she is. Baby Lincoln woke up. She went into her sister Eugenia's room. That's Eugenia. She's got her hair curlers in. "Sister, wake up," Baby said. "There is somebody outside shouting." "Yippee-yi-yo!" Oh, they hear the cowboy riding on the back of Mercy, shouting his cowboy song, "Yippee-yi-yo." "Did you have a pie before going to bed again?" asked Eugenia. "I did not," said Baby. "I think you did," said Eugenia. "I did not," said Baby. "Go back to your room immediately." "Yes," said Eugenia. I guess Eugenia thinks that Baby ate a pie, and that's why she's just having weird dreams, because her stomach is full. That must be why she's asking if she ate a pie. But Baby says she didn't. Okay, so Eugenia says, "Go back to your room immediately." "Yes, sister," said Baby. Baby went back to her room. She got into her bed. She heard another yippee-i-oh. Oh dear, said Baby. I wish I had not eaten that pie. Okay, now even she thinks, oh, look at that. She did eat some pie. She's thinking maybe the pie in her tummy is causing it to make noise, I guess. So she's hearing these noises. What does she do? Chapter 10. Yippee-i-oh! Baby, shouted Eugenia. Come back here immediately. Baby got out of bed. She went into Eugenia's room. Yes, sister, said Baby. Did you hear that noise? Said Eugenia. Was it a yippee-i-yo, sister? It was, said Eugenia. You were dreaming, said Baby. Nonsense, said Eugenia. Open the curtain. Baby opened the curtain. Together, the Lincoln sisters watched Mercy gallop across the lawn. They watched the little man on her back take his cowboy hat off and wave it over his head. Yippee-i-oh, the little man shouted. Whoops. Here we go. That's the picture. They're looking out the window. There's Mercy. He's running across the lawn, and the robber is on his back having a great time. He's pretending he's a cowboy, which is his dream. He wants to be a cowboy someday, and now he's getting to act it out a little bit on the back of a pig. So he's having a good time, yelling yippee-i-yo. That pig is disturbing the peace, said Eugenia, and so is the cowboy riding her. I am calling the police. Oh, sister, said Baby, are you sure it's not a dream? It's a nightmare, said Eugenia. That's what it is. Chapter 11. Next door, Mrs. Watson discovered that Mercy was not in her bed. Mr. Watson, she shouted, come at once. Mr. Watson came at once. Mercy is not here, said Mrs. Watson. Are you certain? Asked Mr. Watson. Have you looked under the bed? Mrs. Watson bent over. She looked under the bed. She is not there, said Mrs. Watson. Mr. and Mrs. Watson stood together in Mercy's room. What should we do? Asked Mrs. Watson. Yippee-i-yo! It's that noise again, said Mrs. Watson. Mr. Watson went to the window. And there they are. Mercy's kind of wondering what this guy's doing on his back. You see, her back. See, she's kind of looking up quizzically as to what this guy's doing. And there's Mr. Watson. He's looking, and that's what he sees. He opened the curtain. He looked outside. Mrs. Watson, said Mr. Watson, we must call the fire department immediately. It's an emergency. Mr. Watson always likes to call the fire department. It doesn't matter what it is, he wants to call the fire department. Chapter 12. In reality, Leroy Ninker was a small thief on the back of a big pig. But in Leroy's mind, he was a cowboy riding a bucking bronco in the Wild West. See, that's a bucking bronco. A bronco is a type of wild horse, and Leroy's imagining that he's riding this wild horse when in fact he's on the back of a pig. Being a cowboy is hard work, said Leroy Ninker. I need some refreshment. Leroy reached into his shirt pocket. He grabbed hold of a butter barrel candy. I bet Mercy's going to smell the butter again. He unwrapped it with one hand. He put it in his mouth. There we go. He's popping the candy in his mouth. Ah, said Leroy Ninker, this is the life. But just then the pig kicked up her heels. The pig bucked. The pig reared. And Leroy Ninker lost his grip. Yippee, said Leroy. See, now Mercy doesn't want him on her back anymore. She's jumping around and Leroy falls off. He flew through the air. Said Leroy. He landed on his back. Oh, said Leroy Ninker. Here he is. Bang, he lands on his back. Crunch. Mercy sniffed. What do you think she's going to smell? She's sniffing. She sniffed. There was that delightful smell again. Butter. Where was it coming from? She looked around. She saw the little man lying on the ground. She sniffed his face. Hee hee, said the little man, that tickles. Mercy snuffled the man's shirt. Hee hee, he said again. In order to snuffle the man better. Snuffle is how a pig smells. Puts her snout right up to you and rubs it against you and kind of goes, okay, that's what Mercy's doing. So she wants to snuffle him really good to find the butter. So she sits on top of him. Hee hee, get off of me, said the man. Mercy put her snout in the man's shirt pocket. She snuffled some more. Oh, hee hee. So she's tickling the man now. She's looking for the butter candy and she's got her nose in his shirt. Hee hee, said the man. Help, help, help. So this poor little guy's got a pig sitting on him now. There we are. See, that is a big pig on top of a little man. That's what you call a big pig on top of a little man. Look, that's the robber's bag. The thief has his little bag there and stuff has fallen out. Mercy found a piece of candy. She bit into it. It was sweet. It was lovely. It was very, very buttery. Mercy sat on top of the little man as she chewed. A siren wailed. So that's a siren. That means the fireman is coming. Woo! Ah, shucks, said the man. So he hears a siren and he knows he's about to be captured. Chapter 14. The police department arrived first. We have been to this house before, said fireman named Ned. You are right, said the fireman named Lorenzo. There we go. That's Ned and that's Lorenzo. Remember, they came last time when Mercy was running around after the bed fell through the floor. Okay, so who are we? That's Lorenzo and that's Ned. That's Ned. That's Lorenzo. This is the house with the pig. And the toast, said Ned. We ate toast at this house. So they remember the toast and they remember the pig. I see the pig, said Lorenzo. He pointed at Mercy. The pig is sitting on somebody. Good grief, said Ned. Ned and Lorenzo got out of the fire truck. They saw Mr. and Mrs. Watson running out the front door of their house. They saw Eugenia Lincoln and Baby Lincoln running out the front door of their house. There we go. There's Mr. and Mrs. Watson. There's Baby. There's Eugenia. They all come and running out. And what's Mercy doing? He's sitting on top of the robber. This is an interesting job, isn't it? Said Ned. Very interesting, said Lorenzo. Going, what the heck? Chapter 15. Officer Tomilello, remember him? He was in the last book too. Officer Tomilello pulled into the driveway of 54 Decawoo Drive. In the yard, he saw two firemen, 3 women in nightgowns and 1 man in pajamas. They were all gathered around a pig. Is that the same pig I caught driving a convertible? He asked himself. Yes, that was another Mercy Watson book where Mercy Watson drove a convertible. So Officer Tomilello was the one who found Mercy driving a car before. He's kind of looking confused. What's going on now? It is, he answered himself. It is exactly the same pig. Officer Tomilello squinted. Is that pig sitting on top of somebody? Officer Tomilello asked himself. That certainly looks to be the case, he answered himself. This police officer talks to himself quite a bit, it seems. Officer, officer, shouted Baby. Come quickly. Mercy has caught a thief. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Eugenia Lincoln and Baby Lincoln and Ned and Lorenzo and Officer Tomilello all looked down at Mercy. Are you a thief? Officer Tomilello asked the man underneath the pig. I am, said Leroy Ninker. I am a thief. Were you robbing these people? Officer Tomilello asked. I was, said Leroy Ninker, until this pig got involved. Gentlemen, said Officer Tomilello, will you assist me in removing the pig? There it is. Oh, wow, look how big Mercy Watson is, and she's sitting on this poor thief. So the officer asked for help. On the count of 3, Ned and Lorenzo and Officer Tomilello lifted Mercy off of Leroy Ninker. You are under arrest, said Officer Tomilello. It's that pig you should be arresting, said Eugenia Lincoln. Look at that. She's always got an angry look on her face. She doesn't like Mercy. She's telling the police officer that he should arrest Mercy Watson. Don't know why she caught the thief. She wasn't the thief. Leroy Ninker stood with his cowboy hat in his hand. He looked down at his feet. Oh, he's all dejected. "Oh, officer," said Mrs. Watson, "the thief is so tiny. Shouldn't he have something to eat before you arrest him?" "Maybe he needs some toast," said Ned. "With a great deal of butter on it," added Lorenzo. "Toast?" said Officer Tomalolo. "Who needs toast?" "Why, everyone needs toast," said Mrs. Watson. "Even cowboys," said Leroy Ninker. So this book is going to end like the other ones. They're all going to sit around and have toast, especially Mercy Watson, I'll bet. Mercy pricked up her ears. Toast, butter, at last. There you go. Mercy's headed back to the house. She heard the magic words, toast and butter. She headed for the Watson's kitchen, and everyone followed her. The two firemen, the police officer, the thief, our friend Leroy, the Lincoln sisters, and they're Mr. and Mrs. Watson. And now what's going to happen? They're going to get some hot buttered toast. The next morning, the front page of the newspaper read, "Pet Pig Captures Thief. Sits on him until help arrives." This is a newspaper. I don't know if you've ever seen an actual newspaper before, but sometimes the news gets printed up on some big size paper and they put pictures in it. And so now Mercy Watson is a hero and they put her in the newspaper. "She is a porcine wonder," said the pig's owner, Mrs. Watson. "She is a very, very brave dear," said Mr. Watson, husband of Mrs. Watson and proud co-owner of the pig. "She is a sly pig," said the Watson's neighbor, Eugenia Lincoln, "and things with her are never as they seem." So Eugenia Lincoln is having her words printed in the newspaper, and she says she's a sly pig. Things are never as they seem. Baby Lincoln, sister to Eugenia Lincoln, remarked that the most interesting things seem to happen when one has pie right before bed. See, they're all making comments to the newspaper. And Baby Lincoln is commenting that interesting things seem to happen when you eat pie right before bed. The police officer, Officer Tomalolo, says, "The pig did capture the thief," said Police Officer Bert Tomalolo. "How it happened, I am not certain, but did it happen? It did." Fireman Net Fortune and Lorenzo Wiz were also at the scene. They both agreed that the pig had some amazing abilities. They also pointed out that Mrs. Watson made excellent toast. The thief, Leroy Ninker, is interested in reforming himself. He would like to become a cowboy. Well, I hope he's successful in his new career. The pig had nothing to say, but she seemed very pleased with herself. Okay, well, that was great. I love these Mercy Watson stories. And that's the cover again. And I will post this in a few minutes. And it was great reading it to you, girls. Lucy, I don't know if you hung in there and watched this or not, but Acadia, I know you liked it. Bye-bye.